Hello everyone. I was getting some requests about how to do my hair color, and I had my hair all up in sections ready to go when I realized, oh, well, let's just make a quick little video to give some information on how I do this. Now, personally, as someone who has really dark hair but a lot of gray, um, I will usually bleach out my hair first, wash it, then place the color. And I also have different sections of different colors. So like this top section here is where I leave a lot more of my natural color, let some of those grays shine through. This section is a section I do really a bright purple. And then everything else along the back, I have kind of a mix of blue and purple in there. And so that's why my hair is in sections now. So I'm going to start by putting it into whatever sections. And then I'm going to make the bleach. I am using this Bright Color Brilliance Bright White. I like to use the cream, but you can use the powder as well. They're the same product. And I will add a 30 volume cream developer. And when I'm mixing them, I'm usually just putting in the cream and then I'm adding the developer enough to the point where it gets to be about the consistency of like a Greek yogurt. Okay, and then after I'm done bleaching, I let it sit. This is where you have to be a little more careful on the timing so that you don't burn your hair. And when I'm doing the bleach, I'll set myself a timer, usually somewhere between 30 to 40 minutes. Because that's about how long it takes, but I also don't cover my entire head with the bleach. I'm usually just doing the roots and any sections that I want to transition from the natural into the color. And so as I'm just touching up, I'll just do the roots, but you can do the whole thing. But usually when I'm doing the whole thing, it takes a little bit longer for it to look bright and vibrant the way that I want it to. And then after I've washed it out, I will put them back into sections, and I will add this Argan Oil One and Only colors. This one is the neon blue. I also really like the midnight blue. And I also have this pure purple. And I will usually start with the blue only here in the roots, and then for the middle section I'll do a combination of the purple and the blue, and then at the ends I'll do just the purple. Sometimes when I'm crunched for time and don't have that and I don't want to do that thing, then I'll usually do a combination of purple and blue here and then just the purple on the ends if I don't want to get perfect about it. So I think that's all of the product information that I have, and I will show you how it goes. So I have applied the bleach. I try to do this as quickly as possible because again, we don't want to ever leave bleach on for longer than 50 minutes. Like that's the top. And if you have like thinner hair or like thinner strands, less hair, you also might want to cut off the time a little bit, but you'll start to see that where my natural hair, the roots are, it just turns a nice yellow orangey. And then where I've already dyed it purple, it turns this lovely blue. So it looks a little bonkers. So, I don't know if you can see. Hello. So that is what it looks like when I have bleached just the roots. And yeah, I'll check in a little bit. Okay, so now I am kind of midway through letting it kind of air dry, because I'm already doing so much to my hair. I don't really love the idea of blow drying it. So since I live in a dry climate, it doesn't take that long, but that does mean that I set aside an entire day for my hair, for me to be home and let it look like this for a little while. So as I was washing the bleach out, I did make sure to really condition it deeply, even if I am going to be washing it again soon, because I know that bleach isn't great. And then when I shampoo the other stuff out of it, I'm going to put on a nice hair mask and let the real like deep conditioner sit in it. Yeah, so as you can see where my natural hair was is just kind of a regular bleach color, and then the sections that I didn't quite get the bleach on. So now I'm going to be separating the brown section, the all purple section, and then the mix sections. And then I'm going to start dyeing my hair. Since this purple section is going to be the most color intensive, because this entire section is really bleached and I want that color to be really vibrant, I usually start here so that it just allows a little bit of extra time for that dye to sit in this section. Then I'll do the underneath section. And then for this top brown section, I am still going to be putting a blue-purple mixture of dye in it so that the sections like up front, I really like to have that pop, so that's why I bleached the front of it. But none of the sections in between, I didn't do the roots through here. So it's still going to be mostly brown because this color only really pops in the sections that have been bleached. So the purples will pop through here, but then the top will still look mostly brown with just a little bit of purple and purple and blue kind of highlights that you can mostly just see in the sun. So when I am done dyeing, this section will look darker and more brown, but with some popping color, particularly where I bleached it. I'll have a bright purple section, and then my little mermaidy fade from blue down to purple. So see you then. Okay, beautiful humans. So now that I've got it all separated back into my sections, I just wanted to go over a couple other products that I use for those of you who aren't super familiar with dyeing your own hair. So first, you gotta get yourself a little bowl. It ends up being your your hair dye bowl. It's best to not have a metal one, particularly when you are using bleach. So this is what I'm going to be mixing my blues and purples together in. And usually in order to mix it, I use one of these little brushes to just mix it up. I really love to use just the really thin ones because then I can get a little bit more precise in my root lines. And then you use this little guy to split out different sections so you can keep your lines nice and straight if that matters to you. For me, when my hair is done, it doesn't have to be perfect because it's all kind of a mishmash of purple. So whatever you want to do. In addition to having a little brush, you also want to have a little comb. It also has the little dividey thing, but this is so, I like to brush some of the hair dye down into the longer sections just to make sure that I'm getting really good coverage. I'm not using this product today because it was a bleach day, but this guy, okay, come on, baby. Come on. The gray serum. This is just a little bit of this kind of product that I put into particularly the hair when I'm between bleach sessions where I just put more color on. This makes it so that this color sticks to the gray a little bit more because this isn't really made for gray coverage. So that just helps it stick a little bit more to those gray hairs. Also, fun fact, once again, this one and only hair dye, this is actually a dye that you don't need to combine with a developer. Although some people will still add a developer, they say that they get better results. I have seen no difference, so I'm not using the developer for that. Okay, also if you are using a dye that does require a developer, you want to get one of these. I've used it a lot and I don't clean it that well, so that's why that looks like that. But you can put the developer and the color in this, you can shake it up, and then it's a little easier to just kind of spray along or squirt along your root lines. And let's see. Oh, and finally, not finally, I'll use gloves. Getting just a box of regular old gloves. They don't have to be anything fancy as long as you are not getting latex if you're allergic to latex. Then I think one essential piece is getting yourself a mirror so that you can see what's going on back there. So as I'm doing the back of my hair, I usually am using one hand for brushing and one hand for the mirror to look at myself so I can see the back. So I use just this little round one because I have it, but I recommend one that's not a tiny little makeup mirror because that would be really tough. keeping around a lot of these little clips. You can get a ton of these for like $2. So this is a really key one, especially if you have a lot of different sections. Keeping around some hair ties for when you want to just like braid your color together. And now finally, this brush. It looks like my normal hairbrush, but it is a wet brush. So after I get out of the shower, whether I dyed my hair or not, I don't use this every day. I only use it after I shower, and it just slides right through wet hair in a way that my other brush that looks exactly the same. Yeah, this one, excellent for everyday use. And this one is my specific wet one. It's called just a wet brush. So buying this was a big game changer for me because as you can see, I have a lot of hair. Okay, so I'm gonna put on some color and you stay tuned. Okay, so it is time to rinse this baby out. As you can see, I put a nice thick coat of everything all over this situation. And I have my just plain purple here, the purple blue mix, everything, and it's been in for, oh my gosh, so long. But the thing about dye is that I can put it in and then I can forget about it for even a couple of hours and it doesn't go more purple. It like a dye only works as long as the dye is meant to work, unlike bleach, where if you leave it in for too long, it will burn your hair off. So yeah, with dye, if you put it in, you can leave it in for however long you want. One thing that I will be doing in the shower is I will be putting these gloves on because I've ended up with some really purple fingernails in the past. At least I keep them on for the shampoo portion. And then for the conditioner portion, like I said, I'm going to be using a hair mask, and I usually turn off the water and leave it on for about 5 minutes. And yeah, let's see how it goes. So here it is, the final product. We have kind of a little bit more on the brown black side, but there's just a little hint of the brighter purple up front. We have our bright purple one that I can push over this way if I want to go a little bit more punk rock. And I flat ironed my hair. And before I did that, I used a leave-in conditioner. This I've been using for years and I love it. I run real dry. And one product I just started using is a heat protector. And so I've been putting this on as well before I blow dry and flat iron it. So when it is down, if I want to go a little bit more subtle, I can part it somewhere in the middle and mostly the brown with just like a little hint. Also, if I go a little half up, we have a nice, the underneath side is super vibrant. I went with the lazy way and I just did a purple blue here and then I just did purple on the ends. And right now it's really subtle, but with a couple of washes that difference will be a lot more noticeable and all of these colors will get a little lighter. Because right now when you freshly do it, it's still pretty dark. And so when I wear my hair up, it's a party. So it's yeah, so this is the final product and I have been doing this for about 5 years and I don't see it stopping anytime soon. Yeah, it's a little time intensive, but what else do I have going on? Anyway, thank you so much.